Present Productions presents the Math of ESP, why it works even if you don't believe in it. Okay, I've talked a little bit on various things going on in life and how it is a part of your life and how churches, governments, corporations use kind of what's subliminal going on in your life to get you to react the way they want you to and do things, and how you do this without realizing it. Now, there's something I want to pick on here. It's basically racial profiling. They can both be good or bad, okay? Nothing is 100%. All white people are not jerks and assholes. I'm proof that there is actually a white person walking this planet that's a nice guy. I know there's other people out there that are nice people, and like me, they've got this horribly diseased white skin. All Mexicans aren't lazy, but I've been around enough to know that yeah, it's kind of the way of their society. And all Italians aren't Catholics or whatever. I'm sure there's a few other things out there. People that actually became Buddhists, and on down, up and down the line. Now, what I'm going to do is start out with something rather simple and directly comes out of my Southern California upbringing. Okay, in the United States, this is a gang sign. Okay. I'm in Mexico. I have been here for almost 2 years. Even the police, when they go by and they're not looking too smiley at me, and I do this, they smile. Why? Because this is hello. This is hello. This is hello. This is hello. If somebody says thank you for you doing something, or thank you for you buying something from them at their business, they often say adios. Provecho. Why? Because it's very simple. Here in Mexico, bribery is very open. In the United States, it's rather hidden. We don't like to talk about the United States being one of the dirtiest countries around, how its bribery systems are extremely thick and heavy, especially in politics, religion, corporations, and schools. Nonetheless, you have a Donald Trump playing the part, selected as president. I understood he was selected in 2015. Okay, that's how far in advance I was able to just look at the basics of what was going on and understand corruption wanted Donald Trump, his big mouth, his con artist tactics, and his walking around bragging about how he could insult more people in 5 minutes than the average person can do in 24 days. There are politicians, and they inevitably retire multimillionaires. How do you become a multimillionaire when you're not making all that much money, folks? Yeah. Somebody somewhere is getting money for nothing. When you consider the average politician works about 100 days a year and gets paid $178,000 a year for doing that, and spends most of his time or her time in office, hand out, give me money, I need to run again. Notice the palm is open. Okay, well, here in Mexico, people understand the palm out like this means you're asking for money. I don't even have to understand what somebody's saying to me when they start to go, hey, gringo, que me necesita pesos, por favor, dice peso, por favor. Okay, so here in Mexico, you do this. Notice the thumb is folded in to cover the palm. You're not doing this. You're doing this. You're doing this. The peace sign is like this. In America, the peace sign is like that. Palm out. In Mexico, it's palm in. Why? Because you're not asking for a handout. You are saying thank you. You are saying hello. The same way goes with the idea that in this town, at least, it is very common, and most of my travel all the way to this point, it has been very common for someone to say adios as they're walking past you. Hello. Adios is goodbye. But in every one of those instances, I am almost always showing the back of my hand. It took me a while to figure it out. It took me a while, even longer time, to get used to doing it. I will still wave like that to people, even though I am more often now familiar with the idea that I want to show the back of the hand. So it is not a gang sign in America, in Southern California, for a couple of Mexicans to walk past and go, "Hey, amigo!" It's not a gang sign, folks. That's hello, without asking for a bribe. But FBI wants you to think that it is. The police want you to think it is. Why? Because you have now racial profiled that person as a gangster. You have racial profiled that person as an outsider in your society. Your churches want you to believe it because they want that person to assimilate the new lifestyle. Just as here I am in Mexico, yeah, I'm learning the new lifestyle. I'm learning how to be different. Okay? So it's no different in that sense, except that people don't argue that I'm a gang man when hey dude, how's it going today? Hola, adios, buenas tardes. Okay? They don't get all pissed off about it. They just accept the fact that I'm a gringo. I'm a white person from America here. Okay? Now, how much further does this go? A couple of Native American range sticks, okay? Terribly horrible disease, evil stuff. Ooh, they're talking to non-existent spirits. How many times do you see your Pope walking with a staff? How many times do you see somebody kissing a cross? How many times do you see people have, various relics and things of spiritual ornamentation around them everywhere? How often have you seen the priest of a Catholic or Christian church wave his little stick, dip it in his holy water that was tap water 10 minutes ago, but I bless you in the name of Christ. And then suddenly it's holy water. And he dips a stick in it and sprinkles it on the little child. You're baptized now, you're an official member of our church, you must pay tithing for the rest of your life. Hey dude, wow, you're not baptized in the church of the earth. Oh, horrible, horrible. Yeah. Okay. So that's how easy it is. Okay. And to show you that this isn't bullshit. I'm not just dealing with that. You were declared a witch. You were often burned at the stake, murdered, because you burned candles in your house, or you burned candles outside in offering, or incense in offering to the spirits of the land, to the spirits of the air, to the spirits of the water. How many times can you walk into a church and not find candles burning? How often have you seen the bishop, the pope, the cardinal, the priest walking along, and either he or more likely one of his little altar boys is running ahead of him with the chalice, with the incense burning, putting out smoke, man, clearing the air. Offers to God. We got the incense burning. We got the candles burning. We're lighting candles for the dead. How many times have you seen on a street corner flowers, candles, pictures of dead, crosses offered up? Are they all witches, folks? They're doing exactly the same thing a witch does. So you see what really is racial profiling? It is teaching prejudice for the sole purpose of allowing your particular brand to be okay. It's lying, cheating, and stealing because you're going to give your God a piece of the action that you're stealing from somebody else. That person is worshiping the earth. This person is worshiping a dead body on a murder weapon. Personally, I'll take the person that worshiped the earth. I don't have much reason to worship a murder weapon. Okay. So think about what is being said and what the outcome is of that person telling you that everybody with brown skin is a bad person. Everybody with yellow skin, which I don't really think I've ever met, is an Asian. Or slant-eyed. So, stop and think about it. Why is somebody telling you to racial profile? Why are you not just going up and meeting a person and setting the standard of that person for yourself and actually using the physical data of dealing with them yourself? Interesting, huh? Okay. Quick little addition here, as far as racial profiling is concerned, and the idea of how it works, and how deeply embedded it is. Okay, I made a comment about witches. Okay, the covenant of witches is 13 people getting together and discussing their thing. The Last Supper. Jesus Christ and how many disciples? 12 disciples. 13 people. A covenant of a religious order that had not yet begun, was not recognized by the state. And like I said, Christ didn't ask to be murdered. Okay? Do not make that fallacy. Okay? Christ knew he was going to be killed according to the Bible book, okay? In the same way that in 1960 I was informed that my life would be pretty lousy, but I would live to see the human race die on the planet Earth. It would be no more. Now, I was told that I would go out of my way to try and do something about that, but it was pretty low probability that anything I was able to do would make a difference. And in that same respect, a Christ entity walking this planet knowing that he was going to be murdered on a cross the next day, arrested, and a couple of days later, according to the story, he was actually murdered. He didn't offer himself up. He didn't ask to be killed, okay? So he was murdered. And the cross is a murder weapon, okay? Nonetheless, the church, which wants you to believe in what had once lived, backwards, the devil, teaches you that that's a holier-than-thou object, okay? Like I said, the burning of incense. Incense came basically from China and India. It was imported into Europe. It was part of that, that trade route over there, the Silk Route. Yeah, what Columbus was going to look for. The quicker way to get to China by sailing west. Oops. Ain't it a real snot kicker to stop and think about how your history lies to you because it is by the victor. Romans did this very well. They walked into places and they said that you can worship your own religion as long as you worship ours and you tithe our gods. Christianity and Catholicism and Muslims and Jews all walk into other countries and take them over and say, oh, you can go ahead and worship your own gods as long as you worship ours too. So you have Christian Shinto, Christian Buddhism, Christian everything. Even the Native Americans, in order to end the genocide, started being Christians because they were realizing they were being wiped out. Otherwise, they had to accept. So Christianity is very bad, and it uses racial profiling. The Bible uses racial profiling because it always has. It comes all the way back, even before the Bible existed, all the way back through the Jews and everybody else. It's all about racial profiling. How you use prejudices to show you're better than that other person.